Hello everyone. In our video 1 of Bahmani Adil Shahs, we have discussed about the cultural contribution of uh, Bahmani Adil Shahs. We have came to know about literature, sculpture, all these things we have discussed. Now next, today we will deal with the Shah dynasties. After Muhammad Gawa, Bahmani kingdom did not continue its rule strongly. The Sultan who came to power after Muhammad III were incompetent to rule. After Muhammad III, Muhammad came to power, but he was a little boy and could not rule the kingdom. The last king was Sultan Kalimuddin Shah. After his death, Bahmani kingdom was broken into 5 states of Shahis. Here, after the death of Gawans, this glory of this Bahmani dynasty is not continued because the next ruler, those who came to power, they are not capable. For this reason, it has broken into 5 states, and these states are called as 5 Shahi dynasties. They are like Adil Shahs of Vijapur or Bijapur, Bari Shahs of Bidar, Qutub Shahs of Golconda, Nizam Shahs of Ahmednagar, Imad Shahs of Berar. Now we will see one by one in detail. First we will deal with Adil Shahs of Bijapur. They ruled between 1489 to 1686. Yusuf Adil Shah was the founder of Adil Shah dynasty of Bijapur. He was a good administrator and tolerant towards other religion. After him, Ibrahim Adil Shah came to power. Here the founder of Adil Shah's dynasty was Yusuf Adil Shah. He was very capable and tolerant to all religion. After him, Ibrahim Adil Shah II, the famous and the greatest ruler, and he has ruled between the period 1580 to 1626 CE. Ibrahim Adil Shah II was the great king among other sultans. Kingdom was expanded and become rich during his period. He had the title Jagat Guru Badshah. The title of Ibrahim Adil Shah was Jagat Guru Badshah. He was tolerant of other religions. He sheltered many Hindu philosophers, poets and musicians in his court. He renovated Datta temple in his fort and encouraged puja rituals. As I said, he is very religious tolerant. How we can see? Because he has renovated the temple in the fort and encouraged the puja rituals there. Who? Ibrahim Adil Shah II. He worked for the cultural harmony of Hindu and Muslim. He wrote a book called Kitab-e-Nauras and tried to make music popular among Muslim. The book which was written by Ibrahim Adil Shah II, it is Kitab-e-Nauras, and it is based on music. The book begins with the worshipping the gods like Ganapati, Saraswati and others. He himself was a great musician. Ibrahim Roza, which is famous for its architecture, was built by him. Now next we will see about the second dynasty, that is Bari Shah of Bidar, 1489 to 1619 CE. When Bahmani state scattered into many provinces, Bari Shah ruled Dakkans, Bidar and other regions around it. Here scattered means separated. Qasim Barid was the founder of this dynasty. The founder of Bari Shah was Qasim Barid. After him, Ibrahim and his brother Qasim, who ruled Bidar, were incompetent king, and because of their inner conflicts, this dynasty declined. Then Ibrahim Adil Shah of Bijapur captured Bidar. Like this, Bidar Shah kingdom was merged into Ibrahim's Bijapuri state. Here, in this dynasty, after Qasim Barid, another ruler, those who came to power, they are not capable. Due to this reason, Ibrahim Adil Shah captured this Bari Shah dynasty and merged to the Bijapur Adil Shahs. Here, Bari Shah dynasty is finished. Now next it is Qutub Shahs of Golconda. Golconda, it is a place in Telangana, and they ruled between 1512 to 1687. Quli Qutub Shah, he was the founder of independent Golconda state. He ruled the state with good administration, and in 1543 CE, he was killed by his own son. Next it is Ibrahim. Ibrahim, he had a kind for Hindu religion, and there were many Hindu officers in his administration. During his rule, he made Golconda a beautiful city. He changed his capital from Golconda to Hyderabad in 89 CE. Here Ibrahim has shifted his capital from Golconda to Hyderabad. After him, Abdul Qutub Shah, Abdul Hassan and others come to power, but they were incompetent kings. Later Golconda surrendered to the Mughals. Like also Baris Shah has become the part of Adil Shahs. Here also this Holy Qutub Shah's ruler also not competent. For this reason this Qutub Shahi dynasty has also become the part of Mughals. Now next it is 4th dynasty, Nizam Shahs of Ahmednagar. Ahmednagar, it is a place in Maharashtra, and they ruled between the period 1419 to 1636 CE. In 1490 CE, Malik Ahmed, who was the chief of Junawar province, founded his own estate Ahmednagar and established Nizam Shah dynasty. Here Jonar, it is a place in Pune in Maharashtra. Okay, the founder is Nizam Shah. He took Daulatabad under his control and expanded his empire. After him, Burhan Hussain, Nizam Shah and others were sultan just for namesake. With the death of Chand Bibi, Ahmednagar declined, and later in 1637 CE, during the period of Shah Jahan, Mughal king Ahmednagar were also merged into the Mughal state. Here also this Chand Bibi is ruling as a regent, and after the death of Chand Bibi, this dynasty also became the part of Mughals. That time Mughal ruler was Shah Jahan. Firstly, Baris Shah gone into the hands of Adil Shahs, and afterwards Golconda gone to the Mughals, and even Nizam Shahs also has become the part of Mughals. Now the last 5th Shahi dynasty is Imad Shahs of Berar, 1419 to 1580 CE. After the fall of Bahmani kingdom, 5 sultan states came into existence. Imad Shah dynasty of Berar is one among them. It was situated between Penganga and Venganga river at Wardha, Tapti to the north of Bidar. In 1490, Fatahul founded this dynasty. Okay, the founder of Imad Shahs means Fatahul dynasty. Ilajpur was their capital. Fatahul had the title Imadul Mulk. After his death in 1504 CE, his son Alauddin Imad Shah came to power. He was an incompetent king. After him, his son Darya Imad Shah came to the power. Even during his rule, Berar dynasty continued its battle with neighboring states. After the death of Darya Imad Shah, his younger son Burhan Imad Shah took over the power. During his power, the power came into the hands of usurpers called Tolaf Khan. Here usurper means a person who has seized the position by force without any legal authority. It is called as usurper, and the name of the person was Tolif Khan. Later Berar dynasty fell into the hands of Bijapur Sultan. This also became the part of Bijapur Sultan. Bidar's dynasty also became the part of Bijapur, and also Imad Shah also become the part of Adil Shahs of Bijapur. Now next we will see the contribution of Adil Shahs. During the period of 200 years, Adil Shahs of Bijapur contributed a lot to the field of education, literature, music, fine arts and sculpture. First we will see their contribution to education. Adil Shahs were great lover of education and they encouraged it. Their education policy was developed. Islamic culture, maktabs and madrasas were the educational center. Philosophy, religion, law, poetry and other subjects were taught. Educational institutions were under king's patronage. Patronage means when they are getting the support or help, it is called as patronage, and they are giving more importance to the Islamic culture, and their educational centers are called as maktabs and madrasas. Now next it is literature. The contribution of Adil Shahs to the literature is very prominent. Literature became rich in their period because kings were poets themselves. Many books were written in Persian, Arabic, Urdu and Kannada languages. They are given more importance to all the languages, and many languages has flourished like Persian, Arabic, Urdu and Kannada. Next, music. Yusuf Adil Shah and Ibrahim Adil Shah II were the great musicians. Ibrahim Adil Shah's work, Kitab-e-Noras, was a great work in music. He opened a music school. Women of a royal family and rich families were interested in music. Not only they are contributed to literature and education, that Adil Shah has also contributed to music, and Ibrahim Adil Shah has written a book. That book name is Kitabe Nauraz, that is totally based on music. Now next it is fine arts. Ibrahim II was a fine artist. His court has many Persian artists. Beautiful paintings of flowers, plants and other natural scenes were painted on their houses, walls of mosque and floors. These paintings helps to know aspiration, interest and tradition of the people. Next it is art and sculpture. Sculpture means the making of the things by using clay or wood or mud. It is considered making of architecture structure. It is called as sculpture. In the history of art and sculpture of Karnataka, the building of Adil Shahs of Vijapur are important ones. They built fort, palaces, mosques and tombs. Their monuments are Indo-Islamic style. They have constructed many fort, palaces, even tombs, and the main feature of this architecture style means Indo-Islamic style. In that the dome shape structure will be there, minarets will be there. This is called as Indo-Islamic. First we will see about the forts. The fort of Vijapur is a big one and it has 96 bastions. Bastion means the dome which were built on a fort, and 6 main entrances. The Vijapur fort has 6 main entrances. Next it is palaces. In palaces, first it is Gagan Mahal and it is in Bijapur. In 1620 CE, Ibrahim Adil Shah built it. It has 3 storied towers. Next it is Mehtar Mahal. This is also in Bijapur. It is also a 3-storied palace. Ibrahim Adil Shah II built it. It is famous for its fine and delicate decoration. And in Asa Mahal, rooms have different paintings painted on them. Next it is, we will see about the mosque, Jamia Masjid. This is also in Bijapur and it was constructed by Ali Adil Shah in 1578 CE. Ali Adil Shah built it. It is famous for its very wide prayer hall. It is a common building without any decoration. It has a different style among the art or monuments. Next it is Ibrahim Roza. Ibrahim Adil Shah II built it in the memory of his wife Taj Begum in Bijapur. It has domes of Ibrahim and his relatives. Domes means graves. It is the only roza in India. It is called as the Taj Mahal of South India. The mosque and the dome are built on the elevated platform with a garden around them and compound wall around it. This is called as roza. Okay. Next it is Gol Gumbaz. Muhammad decided to build something that is even bigger and greater than roza. He built Gol Gumbaz, a domed tomb in 1656 CE at Bijapur. It has a big dome with a whispering chamber inside. Dome, you are familiar about that, a round roof on a building. It is called as dome. It is a fine example of technology of that time. It is the second largest dome in the world and the first largest dome in India. Lastly, it is other important monuments. Bara Khamba, Badke Kaman, Uplich Buruj, Taj Baudi, Chand Baudi and other monuments are the important ones. Now we will see the pictures of all their architectural contributions on the screen. Here as you can see on the screen, Ibrahim Roza, it is in Bijapur and it has constructed by Ibrahim Adil Shah, and this is called as the Taj Mahal of South India, and he has constructed this in the memory of his wife Taj Begum. The next it is Asar Mahal. This is also in Bijapur. Next it is Gagan Mahal. This is also in Bijapur. It was also constructed by Ibrahim Adil Shah and this is 3-storied building. Now next it is very famous Gol Gumbaz. This is also in Bijapur and it has been constructed by Muhammad Ibrahim Adil Shah in the year 1656, and it has a big dome and it is famous for its whispering chamber. And this Gol Gumbaz is the largest dome in the world. Gol Gumbaz is the second largest dome in the world and the first largest dome in India. This is very famous and it is in Bijapur. Now next it is Malike Maidan. This is also in Bijapur, and Jamia Mosque. This is also it is in Bijapur and it has constructed by Ali Adil Shah in the year 15 78, and it is very much famous for its very wide prayer halls. This all the architectural contribution of Adil Shah's. Here we have completed our chapter. Hope it is clear for you. If you are having any doubt, you can ask in the comment section. Thank you.